I know that Battlefield 6's biggest pain points have to be the maps. These have to be some of these boring maps in all of FPS history. But there is a bigger underlying issue of Battlefield 6 that actually was its biggest selling point, was the return to classes. Now, as we all know, in Battlefield, there's always been Assault, Support, Recon, and Engineer, the pillars of Battlefield. And Battlefield has always been dominated by pretty much one of the major classes, which was Assault. But Assault, through its evolution throughout Battlefield, has been just an ever-arching change and never has stopped changing. So I want to talk a little bit of the history of Battlefield and where the Assault classes started, how it got to here, and the best ways to fix the Assault class in Battlefield 6. So if you want any timestamps, everything will link down below. Hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So first, let's talk about Bad Company 2. Bad Company 2, I'd say, is where Battlefield really got its first big blip on the map with console and PC notoriety. And the Assault class in that game truly was nowhere near to where it was today. It provided ammo, it had a built-in grenade launcher on every weapon, and the customization across all your assault rifles were so minimal. It was literally just a scope, I'm pretty sure, and then like what kind of launcher, if it was smoke or explosive, you wanted to pick. Cool. Very simple, bare bones game. As we evolve, this is where it becomes the most dominating class in all of Battlefield, in Battlefield 3 and 4. Battlefield 3 and 4, you could not count the amount of times you would just see someone bunny hopping with either the M16A3, the M16A4, the AEK, the AN-94, some of the most powerful and dominant weapons to ever grace the battlefield themselves. Then Assault also received this hybrid of medic as well, to where they had defibs and they had med packs. So now you had this infinite health god with these laser beam of weapons and the ability to still run grenade launchers and explosives if needed. Sure, there was more choice in what you had to use depending on your playstyle, but ultimately these weapons were so laser focused and precise that you didn't really have to run a grenade launcher. You had a one tool fits all in these assault rifles. This theme would pretty much carry Battlefield through Hardline until then we reached the Battlefield 1 and 5 eras, where I don't feel it's really the same style of balancing, and classes were all over the place, where Assault kind of saw SMGs for a little bit, and then they got like the anti-tank thing, and there was a lot of balancing mismatch going on in the beginning arcs of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. Ultimately, those games got pulled because players did not enjoy it. Some people swear by them, I don't see why. But then we come back around to 2042, where we get our specialists. Eventually, through 2042's history, we wound up getting classes pseudo brought back. Some gadgets were locked behind stuff because McKay with C5 was insane. But ultimately, they brought in what we would now have as weapon proficiencies. Certain classes or certain operators that would be deemed as assault specialists would get like better assault rifle. I think they got like 3 more magazines and stuff like that. So Assault has always attempted to be the spearhead, but always maintaining a very strong connection to team play. So where did they go wrong in Battlefield 6? All right, Battlefield 6 comes out. They supersize support. So we're talking about quickly support. We now have ammo and health in one big bag. I like this change because the bag itself is a lot slower. It requires you to stop, restock, and does change the pacing of the game. I enjoy that a little bit. I think that it requires a lot more team play and a lot more like people just naturally throw the bags around, and sometimes you would have to hope that someone who is using the bag selfishly would throw one down, but it came back so quickly that they would wind up moving the bag as fast as possible. And so with this system, I find that you can just find more lingering bags around. Although it takes you longer to get your stuff back, it's a little bit more infinite, so it's a trade in there. I enjoy the new system though, and then small bags also made their return too. So now we have Battlefield 6's support, where we have the old prophecy of the assault class from like Battlefield 3 and 4. Even though their signature weapons were not assault rifles in this game, there's nothing stopping you from grabbing an assault rifle and just putting it on the support class, which then penultimately gives you the best weapons in the game, and then it also gives you the best gadgets in the game. You have thermal barrel grenade launchers, you have that air bursting grenade launcher on support, you have launchable smoke grenades, right? Then you have an assault rifle. Sure, you don't get the perks of it, but it's still an assault rifle. Like an M433 is still going to shred someone. The Cord is still going to shred someone. Like you can just roleplay and cosplay Battlefield 3 and 4 support with having even stronger class abilities in the medical ammo box and defibs and everything else in that regard. So, where do we look at Assault in Battlefield 6? What are its major flaws? Well, when the game first launched, Assault didn't have any teamwork aspect to it. I think they had to bake in the passives to capture objectives faster so that it actually seemed like the Assault class in Battlefield 6 did something. So then eventually they made the smart decision in the beta to put the spawn beacon on Assault, which I completely agree with. I think that a lot of times with some recons, you would have big map interactions where a spawn beacon would be too far back and just not in the right positions if the guy wasn't running like a carbine recon or something. I know they've remedied that a lot more with the specialist perks and like the skill trees. I really enjoy the recons. I think it's very well balanced, but we're talking about Assault right now. Assault itself finally got the spawn beacon. Cool. So we have one gadget that finally does something to help the team. So the Assault seems to be this breacher, get around thing, spearhead of the Assault, right? You know, make the push happen. You have the best guns, best tools to get a bunch of kills, do what you have to do. Help your team by getting up there with a spawn beacon. So explain to me why that is the only gadget that helps the team. Now you can talk about the ladder, but the problem with the Assault and where I'm getting into fixing with Assault comes here now. Here are my propositions to fix Assault in Battlefield 6. We take the class gadget. I don't think the needle's terrible. I don't think it should be the class gadget though. All three of the other classes have a class gadget that you cannot swap out that helps the team, whether it's repair vehicles, put down motion sensor, or ammo/health. Like, Assault has a needle that has a insane animation cancel before the effects even pop up, so you have to like really master canceling it, so it's not casual friendly, right? Why not change Assault's class gadget? You have two beautiful options in the Assault ladder, which is my primary runner. Like, I think the ladder and the ramp should be the penultimate gadget for Assault. You put down the ladder, you put down the ramp, you'll see these more often now. Now objectives become more obtainable, more breachable. You have different alleys to go through. You don't have to funnel yourself through stuff. You have what this gadget was meant to do. It's a really good gadget. You can create head glitches on defense. You can create head glitches on offense. You can create different routes to get in places. You can go flank in any position that you need to. This should be what the Assault's class item should be. It even auto regens on its own. So at some point, I believe that it was supposed to be the class gadget, and then for some reason, the adrenaline needle took it over. Or, if you don't subscribe to the ladder thing, the spawn beacon's right there now. Like, well, they have the beacon. They have the team gadget. You put the beacon on the class gadget, and you practically fix all of Assault's inabilities to not be a team-based system. You have two gadgets that work perfectly, but instead we have to pick and choose. So right now, if you look at Assault, you have to take the needle, okay? That's your class gadget. You have the adrenaline shot. Boo. Thumbs down, right? Then you have to go, okay, well, as an Assault, I need a tool to stun the enemies. You have flashbangs. Awesome. Then you're probably going to want a grenade launcher to make destruction, right? Okay, so cool. So you have to choose the M302 explosive, or you have to choose the thermobaric incendiary one. Awesome. But then you are now stuck where it's like, all right, I have to run the spawn beacon, because why wouldn't you run the spawn beacon? It's the spawn beacon, right? Like, you put this down, you get a bunch of guys on the flank. That's fat. You know what I mean? Like, that's childhood obesity at a McDonald's at a ripe age, fat. Or you can choose the ladder, which I understand isn't as high of value as a spawn beacon because you can't redeploy everyone off of it. And that's why I believe the ladder should be the class gadget, because the ability for it to have impact without it being like a super tool, right? I still think it's so good that you have to lose out on ability to help your team. So instead, you can drop the needle, because the needle is like, all it really does is help your health regen if you get a kill, or it stops you from getting affected by a stun. And the way Battlefield works, you kind of get fried if you get fried. Like, you can go on a bit of a streak, which isn't bad, but most times if you're in the, like, you're in it, you know what I mean? You're in the thick of it. and you're fighting with the needle procced and you get shot in the back, you might be able to win, but realistically, not everyone's going to be able to pull that out. Not everyone's going to be able to go fry a guy that's shooting behind them. Like, Battlefield is a casual game. The general population of Battlefield are very average to bad players. So the ask of the Adrenaline Needle to be the class gadget on a player base that would not benefit from it doesn't make much sense. So you change it to be a better derivative of your teamwork with the ladder and or spawn beacon. I still say the latter. Okay, so what else does it really need to change? Assault has this weird little gadget. It's like this drill breaching flashbang round thing that you get really early on. I don't think I've ever, one, been stunned by it, or two, stunned anyone with it. I just think it's there because they're like, oh, this looks cool, and they just like forgot to code the rest of it in. Like, I will go back and look at some early gameplay I've recorded with it, and it's just like, I don't know what you do. Like, I shot it at deployable cover by the medics, and that was really good. But maybe they could up the breaching potential on it and the stun. A little bit more destruction from it would be awesome. I think that something to really open walls without it being super damaging would be good for the assault class. We don't need a grenade launcher that, you know, blows up an entire room and kills 40 people, but I think they should have the highest consistency output of destruction, because if engineers have to worry about vehicles and everything else, I think that assault should probably have a grenade launcher, even if it's the M203, that just does more environmental destruction as a whole, and so it can open more alleys, because that's what it's designed, the class is supposed to be doing. I might get shot for this one. I do believe that assault should have maybe also the C4. It's a very good tool. It's a very useful tool. Obviously, you can break a lot of walls, do what you need to do, but limit to how much they get. I get recon can get a lot because, you know, walk up on a tank, blow it up. Leave recon to have the higher amount of C4, and maybe you can just give assault a lower amount cap. I'll be cool with that. Or make their own special, like, C2 breaching charge where it's literally just giant destruction and not a lot of actual radial damage. Like, oh, if someone's on their side of it, they get, like, flashbanged and take 50 or 25 points of health, and it's just more of a tool to make plays off of instead of just, aha, super weapon, boom. So that's my proposition so far to fix, like, assault. It's on the right path. It's really bad because it has no team play, but if you just change the class, like gadget, it really works well. Like, it becomes a really good kit again, and it doesn't overshadow anyone else because it stays in its lane, but it helps the team by staying in its lane, if you feel me. So, let me know what you guys would do to fix the assault class in Battlefield 6. Share your guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll catch you later. Peace.